Currently, my favorite Pinterest inspired color combos are pink and orange, blue and yellow, yellow and orange, and pink and purple. And today we are going to thrift for all of those. I am so excited. My word for 2025 is color, and in more ways than one, I've been trying to add more color into my life, and one of my favorites has been my closet. I thought this would be such a fun challenge to try and look for those really fun aesthetic color combos that I always see on Pinterest, and I thought what better place to go than my favorite town in the whole wide world, River Falls, Wisconsin. This is where I went to college and where one of my favorite thrift stores is. I also realized I haven't been to this thrift store in a while, and the last time I was here, I was thrifting for home decor, so you better believe I'm very excited to look through the clothes here. I also really wanted to challenge myself to just stick to this thrift store to see what we can find for this. We might not find anything, we might find a lot of things. I don't know, that's all a part of thrifting, and I'm so excited to take you guys along. So let's get thrifting.
You guys probably already know, but we are thrifting at Treasures from the Heart in River Falls. I love this place. They have fading rooms, it's color coded, everything is so well organized, so I thought it would make the perfect place to thrift for Pinterest color combinations. I decided to grab this skirt because it does have pink and orange in it, and I actually never find longer fun maxi skirts, so the fact that I found this one I thought was a pretty good way to start off this trip. The color I'm trying to avoid today is green. I have so much green and I love it. I love how I feel in green, I love how I look in green, but the point of this is to try and thrift color combinations that I love and want more of, so green is going to have to be crossed off the list, even though I seem to be drawn to this color. As you can see here, very cute dresses in green. This one actually surprised me that it was Patagonia. I didn't even know Patagonia made dresses like this, and I was almost very tempted to try it on just for fun, but it was a size too large for me, and I just feel like since summer's coming to an end, I wouldn't get too much use out of it. I almost grabbed this pink dress, but I just already know that this shape and style isn't my favorite, so we ended up skipping on that one. In the shirts though, I did grab this 9 West button-up kind of cropped shirt. It's more coral than pink, but I do know that I love this color, and so I thought it was worth a shot to try on. I have been on a journey looking for pink lately, so I was really interested to see what they would have here for different pink options. I really loved the color of this button up, but it was quarter length sleeves and I didn't like where the seams were on it. I almost grabbed this shirt. It felt like such good quality, but I wasn't sure if the pink shade was right. I don't know, I put it back, but don't worry, we come back for it later. I still do not know what brand this tank was. Regardless, it felt pretty cheap, so this one was a pass. And I also almost passed on this light purple ruffle neckline shirt, but it just was so fun, and I thought, you know what, maybe if I try this on, I'll actually like it and it won't look as like weird as it looks on the hanger. I also found this Lanzen top. This looked so cute. It was kind of in this like periwinkle blue color, and the quality of it felt amazing, so I thought that one had a lot of promise. You guys should let me know what color combos you've been obsessed with lately. I would love to hear and get some inspo. I feel like lately I've just been so obsessed with the ones I mentioned that whenever I see it anywhere, it feels like a burst of happiness. Here we are back at the green section again, but don't worry, we didn't end up finding anything that I really loved. I feel like one of the key factors in dressing in a color combo is having the bottoms in a color, but unfortunately I didn't find any shorts that I love, so I moved on to the pants. There wasn't a ton, but I did find this pink and purple pair. The pink pair ended up not being the right size or style at all, or even the right shade, but this purple pair I thought maybe could work. It was maybe like a size or two too big for me, but you never know until we try on, and we do have fitting rooms here, so that helps a ton. And a color combo I was not expecting to be obsessed with is this pink and camo like fleece pullover thing. So cute. And okay, I don't know what it was today, but there was so much Texas stuff at this thrift store. It almost felt like I was in Texas with how much Texas stuff they had. And let me tell you, my jaw dropped when I realized that this was a Lainey graphic tee. Oh my goodness, I used to love Lainey, and I was so tempted to get this, but I don't love red very much, and so I did pass on it because I just know I wouldn't wear it a ton. But please enjoy all the other graphic tees. If you need anything Packers, definitely be sure to come to this thrift store. I love that they have a little section just for Packer stuff. But as you know, yet again, green is not on the list to thrift today. I was really tempted by these really pretty blue Lands End sweatpants, but I don't know, something in me just said no because I want to thrift things that I can wear and feel nice. You know what I mean? So I don't know, I maybe regret that, but I think that was a good decision. That being said though, I did still go to the pajama section because you guys know I've been obsessed with cute matching pajamas. And I found these pair, but they were not in my size, which is unfortunate because they were adorable. And then this silk nightie, beautiful, but not something that I could actually sleep in. Next up was the yellow section, and I was really excited to look through this because lately I've just been gravitating towards the yellow pieces that I have. And with a lot of my color combinations, they include yellow, like yellow and blue, yellow and orange. But as you can see, everything they had was just a little outdated and not in the style that I wanted. I would say the shades looked really good, like the color of yellow, the color of orange, but it just wasn't in a style that I would wear. Even though it wasn't in my size, I did pull out this Old Navy blouse. I liked that it was in this really pretty kind of light blue color with the stripes, and I liked the style of it with the ruffles and everything, so I thought we'd give it a shot. I eventually went through the little vintage section that they have here, which is so fun. The clothes definitely are very interesting and different, like textures and structures and styles. Like you can definitely see all the different like eras of clothing that they have here. However, I don't know if this Eddie Bauer jacket would be considered vintage or not. Unfortunately, I didn't end up finding anything I super loved in this section. A lot of it was like designs or styles that I didn't love, but I did find this sweater, and this felt really good. As soon as I felt it, it felt super worn and wonderful, but I did end up passing on it because I just feel like I have kind of a lot in this color and I don't need any more. I loved all the little pops of colors they had in shoes. I'm not really like a flats person or like a ballet flats person, so none of these worked and weren't in my size, but I did think these vintage shoes were really fun, and I had completely passed by these flip-flops. They had new tags on and everything, and I liked the shape of them. I almost didn't look at the bags, but I'm so glad I did because I ended up finding this pink and orange bag that's in the perfect shade of the color combo I'm looking for, and that ended up being the cherry on top of everything I found for Pinterest inspired color combos. So let's get in the fitting room and let's try on. I started with a blue and almost yellow combination, so we have these orange flip-flops, which I also do like blue and orange together too. Now I wouldn't necessarily wear this together, but I do love how it looks. Like I love blue and orange / yellow together. Now the shirt just wasn't in my size, so it definitely went down pretty low, and as you can see, it just is very oversized on me, but I would say it doesn't look bad considering. Like I would almost wear this. I do just wish it was a bit smaller. And the flip-flops were fun. I love how they have like a square toe to them, and I just haven't tried on flip-flops like this in forever, so very cute. This was supposed to be my attempt at a pink and purple combination, but it kind of ended up being more of a coral and purple, which is another combination I do really like and see a lot on Pinterest. Let's talk about the pants first. So these definitely didn't fit me. They were too big, especially around the waist, and just around the legs I could tell they weren't fitting how they're supposed to. They were also pretty long on me and had kind of like a stretch to them in the denim. The shirt was really good quality and looked really nice. I love this color. I didn't love the high-low kind of feature to that, and I just feel like I didn't love it enough or needed enough to purchase it, but I do feel like it looked really good, and I really did feel like these colors looked really good together. It was fun to see it as an outfit in real life and not just on Pinterest. And not gonna lie, this definitely makes me want a pair of purple pants now, and I'm obsessed that I can't stop thinking about it. Next up, we tried on this purple tee, and I didn't love it, which I wasn't surprised about. This neckline just isn't my style or anything I've really ever seen before, but I do like that it has a fun detail and isn't just a normal tee. I also love the color. I love, you know, like a light purple lavender color. I think it's so fun to add with other colors. The other tee we tried on was this Land's End one, and I was so conflicted by the color of it because as soon as I put it on, it started to look blue and not as purple as it looked for me in the mirror. So in real life, keep in mind that it definitely looks more purple on me, but I was really conflicted on if this was a good color for me or not. It kind of felt like it was washing me out, but I love the idea of it, and it mixed with other colors I think would be really pretty. I don't know, so I switched to the phone to try and see if I could get a better look at it, but it still was reading very blue. Next, we tried on this maxi skirt, which I definitely thought maybe trying it on I'd like the pattern more, but I just wasn't in love with it, and plus it was just too oversized on me and didn't fit in the waist. I almost could wear it low-rise, but I just would not wear it that way. And overall, I just didn't love the pattern. Like I love the colors and everything, but maybe like the style of the flowers just aren't my favorite. Again, another thing, not in my size, but as you saw, we didn't have very many options, and I thought this one could still maybe work. I do love this. I didn't love the little tassel things. I thought that looked honestly kind of weird, but outside of that, I thought this was really fun and pretty for summer. As you can see, it is very large on me, just very flowy, which I do like that. And the sleeves actually fit me perfect, which I was surprised about. I feel like the sizing of this dress is just really odd. I feel like this paired with a yellow purse or yellow shoes would look so fun for the blue and yellow combination, but I already have a dress very similar to this, and just with the fit, this one was definitely a pass. I could not find a brand or label for this bag, so I'm sure it's not a very expensive one or anything, but I just thought the colors look so close to the pink and orange ones that I pin. So fun, but after putting it on, it just felt very cheap and didn't look as cute on me. I decided to go out again and see if I could find anything else that I maybe missed. On the return rack, I found this cardigan that was listed really high, so let me know if you know this brand at all. I decided to go back for that pink tee, but it had stains on it, so I had to pass. I really was hoping I could find some more pink in here, but I didn't. I did find this orange dress that I completely missed before. Kind of a fun color. The style was interesting, so I thought we'd try it on, and I thought we could pair it with this yellow jacket, which I normally would never pick up, but for the sake of this video, let's put together a color combo. And we actually got the fitting room with the best lighting and no chaos on the walls. This dress wasn't my size actually, and was a brand I had never heard of, but when I put it on, I had never felt so bad in a dress. The way the pockets kind of made it puff out a little bit. The neckline was so weird, like that little collar thing and then the seam at the bottom. The ruffles were cute, but they just had a fray at the edge, which is a little bit weird. All that to say, I was not loving this dress, but the jacket didn't really make it much better. Clearly, I would never pair these two together, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys kind of the vision of the color combo I'm thinking of. I do like the colors of these, but everything about this was just not working. I did another last look around, and one thing I was surprised to see was Texas A&M shirts. This was wild, and this Gap body tank. I think that would be like pajamas. It definitely was a little like thin and didn't look like it fit me right, and so we passed on that. And I loved this Target light purple dress, but it wasn't in my size, which I feel like was the story of my life today.
Well, that was a little bit of a dud. So I thought it'd be fun to go home and style our own color combinations. I feel like now I have a pretty decent amount of options to style together in ways I maybe didn't think to pair together. So let's go home. Here is the first color combo. This one is definitely the easiest, the yellow and orange. I recently thrifted this yellow button up. I love this thing. I feel like it's a perfect layering piece because a lot of the color combinations I like have yellow in it. Very glad that I got this. This is originally from Gap, and then I had thrifted this from Plato's Closet, actually. I think this is a cotton on t-shirt. I feel like this looks like an outfit I would pin. This one is super cute. I definitely need to remember to wear this while it's still summer because I just feel like this looks so fun and happy and cute. I just feel good in this outfit, and honestly, I wish I would have worn it today. I think this is adorable. I wasn't sure what to do for the blue and yellow combination, but actually I really like this, and I don't know how I didn't think of this before, but this is so perfect. These are these linen pants from Quince. I got to work with them, so I'll put a link below. I love these linen pants. I wish I would have known about them forever ago because they're so nice. They have this like really thick waistband and they're 100% linen. I feel like this looks like it'd be on Pinterest too, especially if I had some really chunky platform sandals, kind of like the ones I was wearing, but a little bit thicker, you know, and more woven. This one, I think I thrifted 2 summers ago, and I'm really glad I did. I really love this light yellow button-up short sleeve. This is the one that made me purchase the Gap one because I reach for this all the time. I don't know what it is about this light yellow. I don't even know if it's like the best color for me, but I love it, and I feel like it just adds such a fun variation of color to an outfit, and I love it with this blue. I think this is so pretty. I also need to put this on my list of things to wear before the fall comes because dang, this is so cute. So this is the pink and orange combination. I actually think this is really fun. I probably wouldn't normally naturally maybe pair these two together, but I think it could work. I love this skirt. I thrifted this at Turnstile. This is a Lucky brand skirt. A lot of you guys ask about this. I wear this all the time, surprisingly. I love the pop of orange on the bottom. And then this I thrifted, oh, where did I thrift this? I can't remember, but I did record it, and it's originally a Maurice's tank, and I just love this color. I also am drawn to this color a lot. I wore this in my Santa Fe vlog, minus the shirt that I wore today. I don't have a lot of pink and orange combination things. I don't think this is really what I intended, but this is really the best I got. So this is about as good as we're gonna get with the pink and purple combination, but honestly, it's not the worst. I have this, it's more purple, I guess, than pink, but pinky purple hoodie that I dyed recently in my last Dye in My Clothes video. And then for underneath, I have this Old Navy pink tee. I love these Old Navy tees. I feel like I don't reach for this one on as much because the pink is just, it's so bright and neon, but I actually really love it paired with this purple. I feel like it's really flattering on me, and actually I'm really liking it together. I have it with these linen shorts that I have had since college. I probably thrifted them somewhere. I forget what brand these are. Wilfred Free. One of you guys said what store that's from, and I think it might be Free People or Anthropology. This could be something I could wear on editing days or around the house, but I feel so put together and girly and cute. Honestly, I'm glad I unlocked this because I think this is such a cute combination. I feel like for fall, I could see myself wearing this with some denim jeans and stuff. Not too bad. All that being said, I think I'm going to stay in this outfit for the rest of our little heart-to-heart chat. It is actually wild how much you realize you have in your closet when you try to make and combine different things. It feels like the pieces get new life. So I'm really excited. Even though we didn't get anything, I feel like I did because I combined my pieces in my closet with things I wouldn't normally pair them with, and I feel like I unlocked several new outfits. So I'm very excited about that. I'm also very excited because I'm going to try to include a little heart-to-heart Jesus chat at the end of every thrift video as much as I can. You guys have been loving this, and I do too. It really combines my favorite things, which is just talking about life, talking about faith and Jesus and thrifting, and talking about clothes and feeling good and beautiful. To be able to have them all together, I think is perfect, and I can see why you guys like it too, because I love it. If you don't want to stick around for the chat, you can leave this video. That's totally fine. Lately, I've been in Matthew 6, which you guys might know this chapter. This is all about not being anxious, and so we're gonna start in verse 30. But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which today is alive and tomorrow is thrown in the oven, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? Therefore, do not be anxious, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the Gentiles seek after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them all. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. This verse actually is the one that Age and I memorized at the beginning of 2024, right before we were about to start trying for a baby for the first time. It actually was a verse that we repeated before I told AJ that we were pregnant with our first baby, and so it always just has a special place in my heart. For a couple weeks now, I've been hearing God whisper in my ear, "O ye of little faith." It's just been kind of convicting of how little faith I have in situations that feel too big for me. I'll get stressed out about either my schedule or relationships. I keep hearing God say, "Ye of little faith, do you not think that I am big enough and bigger than these things?" It's definitely challenged me to see that I'm looking at my problems more than I'm looking at God, and I don't have enough faith in God, and I feel like I have more faith in how big my problems are, you know? One of them is, YouTube. It's like, I wonder if my videos would get enough views, or if I'll make enough income on YouTube this month. And I hear God saying in my ear, "Ye of little faith, do you trust me?" That part of the verse definitely over the past couple weeks, especially with my schedule too, how am I gonna get this done? How am I gonna figure this out? And even thinking of with our miscarriages and will we ever have babies, I hear God saying, "Ye of little faith." Yeah, very convicting. And then the thing I realized is that the "ye of little faith" part comes right after he talks about clothing the grass of the field and how much more will he clothe you. I think the thing that's cool about this part of the verse is that it reminds me so much of thrifting. When you thrift, you don't know what you're gonna find. You have all these things that you're looking for. You don't know if you're gonna find it in your size or in the color that you want. Somehow you end up finding it. It just reminds me of God and how if I can trust with thrifting, if I just keep on searching for it, if I try one more thrift store, if I dig around a little more, that I'll find what I'm looking for. How much more can I trust God to clothe me and give me exactly what I need? And also with thrifting, I think the cool thing that also reminds me of God is sometimes I'll have this thing on my wish list or thing I'm looking for, and I end up finding something even better that I didn't even know that I needed or wanted. I feel like that's so much of how God is like we think we know what we want or the way we want it or how it should be done, but really in the end what God has for us is so much better, even better than the best thrifted piece that you could find. Somehow he thrifts it all together, This part of the verse just feels so specific to our little thrifting adventures and kind of everything we talk about with our clothes. He's so much bigger than a thrift store. I don't want to compare God to a thrift store, but I feel like it just makes sense to me. I don't know. And I hope you know that I am saying all of this with the fact that I am learning in this area. This is something that I need to hear and that I need to be reminded of all the time, especially to not be anxious for tomorrow. I jump so far ahead and I'm anxious about weeks and months and years ahead. So easy to jump ahead, to be worried about all the things in front of you that you don't even know are there yet. I was convicted, actually. I was sitting on the hammock and I was spiraling about this one thing. I was having one of those mornings where I just felt like everything was wrong even though nothing had happened yet. I felt like I heard God say to me, there isn't a problem until it's a problem. I was like, oh yeah, like that's right, there isn't a problem right now. I'm making a problem, and until there is a problem, then we'll deal with it, but there's not actually a problem right now. I just want this to be encouraging to you. If you also kind of make up problems in your head before they're actually problems, it's comforting to be able to separate it and be like, wait, I made it a problem. It's actually not, and I don't need to worry about it. I encourage you to read this section, and I feel like every time I read it, I think of different areas of my life that this applies to, or different parts of it that says so much about God and how he cares for us. Honestly, just with this color combination I have on is such a reminder of how God takes care of us. I didn't have to buy anything more than I already had today. I already had the color combination in my closet, and I feel like this looks so beautiful, and I feel like a little lily in the field right now. I'd love to hear how you have seen God take care of you even when you're feeling anxious and when it feels like you don't know how you're going to get through. I definitely have seen God answer my prayers and get me through to the next day. Okay, I have to go, but I love you guys so much. I'm sorry if you love a haul, I do too, but it is sometimes good to get a little bit of a break and wait for the next day because there's always something better, I feel like. Don't forget to subscribe to the Laundry Chat if you haven't already. I put up videos every Monday and Thursday, and I'll see you guys in the next one.